All right, welcome back. We are with the Alovéa Pros podcast. Craig Smith here. I'm your host, and boy, oh boy, am I excited for this podcast. This is somebody I've been trying to get on this podcast for, I don't know, Paul, it seems like a year now, but I am with 6th-degree black belt, 5-time world champion, Taekwondo. I mean, really, do you just call it master? I mean, or world champion. I guess that's what I say. Paul, good evening and welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you.
You ready for this tonight?
Here with you.
It's going to be a lot of fun. This is one that I had to get all geared up for. I think I told you I had my fix and core ready, and then you were like, uh-oh, it already felt like a battle. You got yours, and yours is bigger than mine. So here we go. We're in trouble. So Paul, 5-time world champion, Taekwondo, super excited to hear about your story. How have you always been into this sport? Did you get into it in later life? Why Taekwondo and how did this all start?
Well, when I was younger, I was always watching the Kung Fu TV show every week. So that kind of got me fired up to sometime get into it and think about it. And then when I was in college, tech school, that they offered Taekwondo at the fitness center there, the racquetball courts, because that's where we started with the racquetball courts. So that's where I started back in 81.
Wow.
1981.
So when you started, look, hey, I loved a lot of those movies. Bruce Lee back in the day, and then of course The Matrix later on in life. And there's some unbelievable movies, but I did nothing about it. You became a 6th-degree black belt and 5-time world champion. When you started, did you have the competitive bug to think that you were going to go in that direction, or how did that kind of eventually grow into becoming a world champion?
No, it didn't at first. I was just trying to learn the material and get up through the belts. And then I think my first time I competed as a red belt, I got my butt kicked. And then I think even as a green belt, because I got beat by one of the guys that he stayed with it. And we had many battles together, and but that was a good thing there. It was, I think, the Spencer Y down in Spencer, Iowa. They had just gotten Nautilus equipment in. Wow. So I started working out with that and kind of doing the weightlifting as I thought fit that it would work good for the Taekwondo parts. I got more flexibility with doing that equipment. And then the way I lifted, started getting a lot faster too with my kicks and stuff. So that was one of the biggest things that I got known for, was my front leg ground kick. So
I have a feeling I don't want to see that close up. I think I'd love to watch it on YouTube or a video, but I do not want to do a sparring match with you because I've seen you up close. But this is such a cool story. And the fact that you started something in school, became passionate about it, and then it's grown. And, you've got it sounds like you got the Minnesota accent there. Of course, I got the Canadian accent. So we sound like we're definitely not from around Western North Carolina where I live. But, when you talk about this sport, where has it taken you? Have you been able to travel throughout the United States, and when you compete, or where have you gone competing in Taekwondo events?
Yeah, I've been all over. We had a tournament out in New Jersey way back when, and the guy that I was telling you about he and I competed a lot together. We went together. We went together at a lot of tournaments. And then, I've been there, Florida, Texas, Vegas, Arizona. The local ones was Nebraska, South Dakota, North Dakota, and the ones in Minnesota, Wisconsin.
So how does it work? Are you taking, because I don't know a whole lot about the Taekwondo competitions. Does it build up throughout the season and then you get into the world championships, or how does that work?
Yeah, you go to the regional tournaments and they give you, if it's a class B, they give you 5 points for first place. If you got a class A, then it's 10 points. And then the nationals, they give you, I think it's 15 points for first. And then it's more points as far as the world's. The first tournament of the year's back, or they start the year out. That's the very first tournament at Worlds, and then that gives you the most points. So you can start out and win it at that one, and it they get you a good start. And then what they call is the top 10. So the people that have the points to stay in that top 10, they're automatically put into that what they call tournament of champions. And that's what starts out the worlds, is they do that tournament of champions, and then whoever wins that out of those top 10 people, they actually win it. So you can go in there in 10th place and then win it. So yeah, that's my main goal, is just to stay in the top 10. So as of right now, I'm tied for first place in sparring, and then I believe I'm in third place for combat weapon.
Wow. Well, ironically, I'm in last place. So, yeah, I mean, you and I are showing the spectrum, first place and last place. So, but you brought up something interesting because, we're on this Alovéa Pros podcast. So you were talking about earlier strengthening your body as you got more and more into Taekwondo. You got more focused. Now you're competing. You're wanting to get stronger. Like you said, you got more flexible. But also the importance of your health and nutrition is probably extremely important through this process as you're competing all year. How did you first hear about this company, Alovéa, and why did you decide? What was it that caught your attention? Say, maybe this is something I should try to help me in my sport or help me in my health.
Yeah, I guess it was like 8 years ago. I saw a friend on Facebook that she was losing weight and having more energy and stuff, and then I'm thinking, with my job during the day, that I'd always pack a lunch, and it wasn't always the best. And then they had the bars, and that intrigued me, to have better meals during the day, better food. And the biggest thing that interested me was the beet pills that they had. I noticed that with where I go to work out, they have a kickboxing class, and the instructor, he knows how to work you, and he can have a lot of people with their hands on their knees trying to catch their breath of some of the exercises. So I noticed that I get more oxygen in my blood. So it was less of that. And then even after a very hard workout, he always spent a minute or two explaining in the class, and how everybody asked about how everybody felt. And I felt like I was ready to go for another class a few minutes afterwards, just from the recovery.
Wow.
So that was the biggest thing.
And that product you're talking about is, from beets. It's the betalain of the beet that has shown incredible results in clinical studies around improving overall inflammation reduction, and of course by 47%, as well as increased perceived energy up to like 122%. So it's amazing what a tiny little pill that's Mother's Nature. It's kind of food technology that is, because when you first saw it, you're probably thinking like, is this thing really going to have that level of impact? But I mean, it obviously had a huge impact on you.
Yes.
That's powerful. Yeah. Well, what else? So, when you look at these products, so you reached out to your friend Nancy, said, hey, I'd love to give these a try. I'm intrigued. You try them. They're impacting you, so you enjoy them. So you could be a customer to life. But the company has a special program called Alovéa Pros, where we sponsor coaches, trainers, athletes, and healthcare professionals. And obviously you heavily qualify. I guess we automatically qualify 5-time world champions. We just say, yes, you're approved.
Yes.
And but what was it that you decided to say, I don't want to just be a customer, but I'd be willing to put my reputation and kind of stamp this brand as one of the brands I'm putting my credibility on the line? What was it about the company and the products that you felt like, I'm willing to share this with others?
Yeah, that's just, the great products, and the buy one, nourish one. That's a great program too, with it, that you're helping malnourished kids. So that was another reason why I wanted to go with it. So, that was good. As far as the pros and promoting that a little bit more, is these Taekwondo instructors in these schools, you got people coming in that they want to lose weight, they want to learn how to kick and punch and exercise, and having good products to go in with that. I just thought that this stuff would be good for the instructors, that they could start putting that in with their schools if they can make that work for themselves.
Yeah, because you've even, I mean, you've
Yeah.
had some great success with this because, well, two things. One is about the buy one, nourish one model, which I'll explain in a moment. But you've been to events or even Taekwondo shows where you've introduced this to people, and some people, other pros, healthcare professionals, and whatnot. Like I think Mindy was introduced by you, and that have gone on to have
Yes.
like really great success in sharing this with others. How does that feel knowing that like just by sharing these products with others and or people, it's changed their life physically, it's changed their self life mentally, and even financially? You've really had that impact just by sharing it with others. How does that make you feel?
Feels good. It's been a long process, I just keep being consistent and work with it and keep showing it to more people. Just even today, I've talked to 3 people. So
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, you never know who you're talking to, right? And as a coach or as an
right.
athlete, there's always people intrigued, especially at tournaments. They're going to be, intrigued to see what your diet and see what your recovery is. So to be able to give them a solution, let's talk about that concept of the buy one, nourish one concept. So this is a social business, meaning for every product that they provide, they create a matching serving and need to children. The company has surpassed 58 million servings. And when you think of it, 58 million servings donated, but it's the same technology that's in what we're taking on a daily basis, right? So
Right.
one is the company tracks your ripple. I don't know if you know what your ripple is at this stage, but it tracks how many donations have been donated because you have shared this with others. So as a world quality athlete, a world champion athlete, how does that make you feel to know that you're making this impact to kids, and what has your impact been at this stage?
Yeah, right. I'm just a little over 200,000 right now. So uh, yeah, that's the group that I got with myself and under me that we got 200,000.
I mean, that's a pretty cool concept to think 200,000 servings of Ace Mannan, this technology, have been nourished to children and have been shipped around the world because you said yes, and you said, I'm going to be an Alovéa pro and I'm going to share this with others.
Yes, it's great. It's great.
Well, I mean, you think of the legacy you're building too, right? You're building a phenomenal legacy in the Taekwondo world. I don't know how many 5-time world champions there are, but, and I'm sure there's others, but, the ability for you
Yes.
to continually to expand and create that success that you've had on something that you started at school. And now you're also creating a legacy that you're making an impact in nourishing folks. So if you had somebody listening to this who's a coach or a trainer or a healthcare professional, somebody who, or maybe even just somebody who is interested in living a healthier lifestyle, what would you recommend to them, and the next steps on getting started with something like this?
I think the biggest thing, especially to do a lot of working out, the limitless, the immune, the beet pills, the immune for your gut health, the core, that's those, and then even the fuel, then focus. For competitions, I've been doing the focus and the fuel just to get myself on 100%.
So that's the kind of like the energy. What I love about these products, like there's no coloring agents. These are all food based to create this. It's all very clean. So before your matches, you'll take the fuel or focus or both, which really help dial in your energy and your mental energy. So you take those before your fights.
Yes.
Nice. Oh, I didn't know that. And then afterwards, do you take the fix afterwards?
I usually just wait till night with that time. It depends on when the competition is. Then I'll maybe do another fuel during the day just to make it through the day with judging and all that stuff. Because usually after a competition, we judge other people.
Well, I like you said you do this because a lot of sports, and I know we have a lot of people in racket sports and baseball that really they like this kind of fuel focus pre and during match, and then later on they'll use the fix to help lower their cortisol and help them get in that recovery mode. And like you said, the beat pill. I
Yes.
haven't heard that term in so long. That's just cracked me up when you called it the beat pill because it kind of is what it is, right? But I mean, it is a powerful product. So well, Paul, I mean, man, the career you've had, how long are you going to continue doing Taekwondo?
I've got a 3-year-old son, so I'm going to be seeing him go through stuff too. So, and then plus my wife, she's into it, and she's kind of wanting to get back into some of her previous sports too. She was in Muay Thai and she's done MMA, so she's uses these products a lot too. So she's doing
Sounds like you
very
got a
well
good
with stuff
sparring
too.
partner at home.
Yeah, she's
Well, and your son, are you going to then move from world champion athlete to move into coach? Are you going to be a coach, or are you going to be on the sideline helping out, or a bit of both?
a bit of both. I'm even just going sparring at other schools I go in. I always kind of help people, but I'm working for myself too. But I'm always giving suggestions and recommendations on what they can do better. So
next time you and I are going to be together, maybe I'll have to bring out some gear and you can give me a quick little lesson. So I don't know.
yeah,
As a tennis player, I don't know if this would be a good thing or a bad thing, but it could be a whole lot of fun. That's for sure.
well, one thing with Taekwondo, you're always stretching. That's always good for yourself. And I'm sure you always did when you did tennis. You had a routine for stretching and warming yourself up. So they'll probably all.
The older I'm getting, the more important that is as well.
Yeah, I can
There
say
was
that
that
too.
stage of life where we were young and dumb and we would just go out there and start right away. But yeah, you start to get a little bit more competitive or a little bit older. You start realizing that little bit of time before and afterwards, and then what you're taking in between makes all the difference in the world.
Absolutely.
Nice. Well,
Absolutely.
Paul, man, this was a huge honor hanging out with you today, and big congratulations on what you've done in the world of Taekwondo, and of course, a huge positive impact on what you've done on nourishing over 200,000 servings being donated because of what you guys have done. And I can't wait. Maybe we get to do this again after this year's competitions, and we can see how you finish the year and see where that ripple is. But it was a great honor having you on as a Alovéa Pro podcast tonight.
All right. Thank you very much.